Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. That's what's up. Hello, everybody. Hello to our first-time viewers in the chat room watching the podcast live for the very first time. Rocio.
Wow, we got some newbies.
Yeah?
Shit, yeah, we can say shit.
Give him a show, Bird.
No, I'm not your monkey. No. Yeah, it's not yesterday. I'm not hammered on tequila that you provided me.
It was my idea. It was your tequila, Virginia.
You fuckers.
Yes.
The last 4 shots were my own, though.
Well, you made them your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then you proceeded to throw down. I mean, Lana proceeded to throw down. I mean,
Kevin said it earlier. Lana started to take over my personality.
she is a handful.
Well, even when he's sober, like I'm starting to notice, that's going to be when it's going to get really scary. Is Lana, when he gets drinking, he loves to put on women's clothes, and yeah, when that personality starts bleeding over, that usually is what happens with schizophrenia.
Psychopath.
Yeah, is then you come in and one day he's in here and he's dressed as Lana, and you're like going, "Oh, great, Jaybird's hammered." You're like going, "Wait, he's not hammered. He's just Lana." And then just Lana takes over. And then, we're just out at cocktails and karaoke, and it starts there. And then all of a sudden, he's with Denny's at Hooters, and he's dressed as Lana. And you're like, wait, why is Lana here?
For you, it would work out better if Lana showed up at cocktails and karaoke. You do not want Hulk Hogan to show up. And I'm just telling you.
Can they all stay home?
I'm just telling you.
Can we just get Jaybird?
Superfist, there's rumors that Hulk Hogan may come out.
I'd have to rank. I'm not sure there's one of your alter egos I like. Lana might be the best.
Man.
Well, they all want to attack me and hassle me.
That's not true.
Yes.
Gibby Darlington never did. Gibby Darlington.
That's why I like Gibby. He's my favorite.
He wanted to suck you off. Is what he
So
wanted.
does Lana.
Yeah. That's another theme, too. It's a vehicle to try to get to that sucking off the Kev.
What do Gibby and Lana have in common? They both want to give you that bum.
I'm not so sure. Hulk Hogan might do the same. I don't know.
And he's not even. Technically, it's zombie Hulk Hogan because you killed him.
That's right, a pizza eating contest.
Oh, Kevin hates Super Pie, but you also hate Super Pie. Super
Pie is super aggressive.
He's wreaked havoc on
Super Pie, Hulk
he's-
Hogan. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
He's hard to handle.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, though, all those fuckers are coming back at some point.
Load up your paintball gun, Virginia. That's how you kill one of them.
I mean, I'm so tired these days. I got a blade.
Just shoot them all in the nuts. That's how he kills alter egos.
There's some wrongness with this. Gibby Darlington isn't dead. You just injured him and sent him off into nowhere land.
but he's mad.
Yes.
And he's got one inflamed nut.
You left a scar on Gibby, and he's pissed.
It's hard to be a one-balled cowboy.
You're right.
On Brokeback Mountain.
That's right. We're talking a little bit about Publix Greenwise closing in Palm Beach Gardens.
Heartbreaking. I love that grocery store.
We all do.
Yeah, well, I just wonder, sometimes how this happens. Publix, a massive chain, biggest in Florida. And they do have some competition with Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, some other places. But some of the text I didn't get to on the regular show today is that apparently they are growing. Like one was opening in Boca, we had heard about. We talked about that in the regular show. Somebody also texted and said, yeah, there's a Publix opening in Gardens off of Donald Ross in Alton. I don't know if that's a Greenwise. They didn't say that's all the text said. And they're building a new Greenwise in Tradition. So maybe that's what it is. Because I know, for instance, because somebody's like, oh, well, Bud's closed the location. Yeah, but they did that because it was like right in the middle of 2 others. And they just, when you're a store and you're a business, you can monitor your traffic. And I know for Bud's, because I've read the article on that one, and they said, look, this is our lowest grossing store, and we want to open up one in Stewart. So if we take the resources and the money from this, we can push it and expand our range, and this would be ultimately better for it. So sometimes, if you see a place closing, like maybe even this Greenwise, it's not that was a failure or disaster. It's just we want to reallocate resources.
Well, if they open a Greenwise in Alton, that's good because that's right on my way home.
Yeah.
Super convenient.
And maybe they realized they couldn't have both in that range.
Maybe.
And Bud's would kill up north, by the way. Bud Chicken and Seafood would do amazing in
agree.
the northern.
I think they're probably realizing that. Yeah,
They
Yeah.
deserve it.
And it was maybe once upon a time, like, we're going to keep it within Palm Beach County. That's our borders.
Yeah.
It's easier to run.
I think it was like that.
Yeah, and so now there's probably, young piss and vinegar.
Grow for the cash.
That's right. People like everybody that's in there running it. Philip, they're like, hey, I'm going to change it up. Move it around a little bit.
Young blood. Philip is the young blood. He's the next generation of buds.
Yeah, that's probably it. Philip's like, let's do this. Let's grow it. Got this from Denise. We were talking on the Would You Rather Know All the Mysteries of the Universe, or the other one had to do with the outcomes of your own personal decisions. Virginia and I chose outcomes of our own personal decisions because it would be more impactful to our lives.
And because we can get rich, bitch.
You could do that too, though, knowing the mysteries of the universe. You could.
Seems like more work.
Well, I was just thinking the ones that I could think of, and I'm like, how would that apply to helping my own personal life? If I knew about Stonehenge, if I knew about JFK's assassination, if I knew about Bigfoot and aliens.
What's it going to do for you?
You could make a career out of that.
But the only thing that is lacking, you have the knowledge, and that would be the worst part. You see this in movies sometimes. It's a popular vehicle. You have the knowledge, but no proof.
And nobody believes you.
Yes, and you're cursed with that, saying, I know, but no one will pay attention to me.
That's how you end up, like, people thinking you're crazy.
Right.
And then you go a little bit crazy because no one will believe you. And the next thing you know, you're on Skid Row.
From the dawn of man, that's been a vehicle. I mean, the story of Noah or Gilgamesh, whatever you want. That was the whole thing where it's like, it's going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. They're going, you're a dumbass.
Whatever, dude.
Right. Yeah. He was cursed with the knowledge, no proof, Virginia. Then he said, I would want to know all the secrets of the universe because I believe the knowledge that I will gain knowing everything about the universe will give me insight on how to live my life and to make positive decisions.
They get it. Exactly. They fucking nailed it with that email.
Well, I just want an example. You could convince me with an example because she said, just like when someone has a near-death experience and they come back a different person, they don't sweat the small stuff. They understand the importance of life. Your decisions will give you peace.
If you know the secrets of the universe and you know, because you don't know what it is because we don't know these answers, but you have that power to have the secrets of the universe, you without a doubt can get your life in a manner to use that for greatness.
What is an example? To be convinced, I need an example of how this affects my life.
Okay, let's say you know that there's an afterlife of some sorts, and you know that there's certain things not to worry about. You could possibly, tell people about that to ease some anxiety, try to give them some proof.
I already believe that, and I live my life that way.
Well,
currently.
not everyone's JB.
Yeah, Jerusalem beard.
Jerusalem beard.
What?
Jerusalem beard.
You drinking again?
No, wish. We have any Casamigos.
See, that was the only thing I can think of. I'm like going, I with my own personal belief system, I'm like, I'm already there.
If you know Bigfoot's real, you're gonna know how to track Bigfoot. You're gonna then at that point be able to show off Bigfoot is real. If you know at that point you're gonna know aliens are real. You're gonna know how to track them. You're gonna know how to track Loch Ness Monster. All of that stuff. If you have the secrets of the universe, so you would be able to prove where Bigfoot's at. If you have the knowledge of that, you'll know where they're at.
I think it's different between knowing and tracking.
Proof.
Right.
Are you going to be just the crazy guy? Just
No.
like, I know it's a fact. I know it's a fact.
That could be a curse. Imagine if you're that person and Bigfoot, he's there now. Actually, could be your curse, and he's more elusive. It's not saying that you're going to know where to get Bigfoot or how to get him or whatever. And then even if he were 2 feet in front of you, like, okay, now what do I do with this guy?
But how do you know when you pick secrets of the universe, you don't get all these other awesome things that you didn't even know were possible? Now you know how to swim and hold your breath for 3 hours because you've got the secrets of the universe.
Yeah.
Silence? Nothing?
I still need that personal example because for me, I have personal examples on how, if I knew the outcomes of my decisions could affect my life, your guy's life, I wouldn't have taken that job in Miami. That's one that jumps to mind right there. Now, see, that's a rock solid example. I can climb on board and say.
But you learned.
Yeah.
You learned from that. You learned from that experience.
And it did work out well.
It did. Some would argue you have to go through those things and make mistakes.
I look at other things saying, I could have that knowledge now. Because, it would go to that whole thing where they say, imagine if you had the knowledge you have now in the body of your 20-year-old self what you could do with the world.
Well, specifically, let's talk about the money they were supposed to pay us that they didn't. Remember that?
Those are all kind of
that
things.
we could have got.
Do we have to talk about that?
There are, I can think of probably 5 to 10 things right now about the career
Right.
that I know. And look, everything, you're right. Everything happens for a reason. And that would actually be the only downside of it, is that experiences happen to teach you lessons. But to me, if I knew the lesson already.
To me,
If the lesson's going to cost me too much cash, I don't want to learn it the hard way.
To me,
Yeah.
though,
F that.
It's almost like when you have a video game and you have the cheat code and you're playing with the, you know everything. You're gonna dominate. You're dominating life too much. I think it would take away some of the.
What's wrong with that? And
It would take away the excitement.
you think about a lot of people in their life, they have decided to go out just for what they thought was a fast food run. They wind up in a car accident. Their loved one winds up dead in the car accident.
Damn, Bird.
Knowing that was the case before you're walking out the door, you'd be going, hey, if you go out there to make this fast food run, your wife is not coming home with you. And
Yeah,
you'd be like,
you're
okay,
cheat-
we're staying
you
at home.
win.
You
You're
died trying to get a chicken nugget.
You're cheating life. You win. Everything's invincible. I get it. But sometimes invincibility is not always the best thing.
I don't know. I'm going to take it.
Well, look, I'm not trying to change your mind
You won't.
because I know shit. I like mystery, baby. I want the universe. I want to know.
Sometimes you got to read things twice. I just looked in the chat room and said, Kevin, I love you, moron. I'm like, what? It says, I love you in maroon. I'm like, oh, okay.
Kevin, I love you in maroon.
I was like going, I'm not a fucking moron.
But I am wearing maroon.
You're right, yeah. That's what happens sometimes. See, if I would have known the outcome, I would have known, don't get upset about somebody calling you a moron. They're just saying, they're actually paying you a compliment. It's a fine line, Virginia.
That's awesome.
Caitlin said, hey, I saw Virginia take a Scientology test when she went to L.A. I was curious what happened afterwards with the test.
So we took the whole test.
Mm-hmm.
And it took 250 questions. Me and Mags both took it. We turned it in, then we went and sat in this little area where they say, okay, just wait here for a second, and then we're going to tell you what your personality test said. We were sitting and waiting, and we asked the guy, we're like, are we next? What's going on? So apparently what it is it's a little sell job. They have you wait, and then you have to sit down with probably their salesperson, and they try to sell you on something. But there was 3 people ahead of us, and it was 10 p.m. LA time, which that was the day we arrived. So we were exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, email us the results. Peace out, fuckers. And we left.
Okay, so you didn't really get...
We didn't get the results. We were taking it to get the results, but I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours. It's not worth it to me.
So people are yelling at you about doing the Scientology thing.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
I was wondering too.
They're not going to get me. I'm not going to all of a sudden be like Tom Cruise jumping on sofas.
Are you sure? That's what they all say, Virginia.
Seriously, do you really think they could get me? I don't think they could.
I don't know. They've gotten a lot of people. I often wonder that because I think, as us, we're just like going, oh my gosh, these people that join some groups and you're just like, oh, what a sheep and this and that. And maybe in some instances, but other times there are some massively manipulative and persuasive people that, you're looking, for instance, I marvel, I look at what happened in Nazi Germany. And you look at that and you're just like, wow. I mean, to me, the Nazi, the whole thing is to me like a cult. And you get that realization if you ever look at what happened with the concentration camps. You're like going,
right.
How, if you were any kind of human being, be able to work in one of those things and say, screw this, man. There's no way I'm going to be a part of this. I'm
just fascinated by it. And I wanted to just hear their pitch. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to get involved in it. I don't want to be a Scientologist. I'm just very curious by nature what the draw is. And I would be able to sit back and say, okay, yeah, that does sound sexy. Okay, I get how they're getting people.
There's nothing wrong learning.
Because, one of the podcasts I listen to, I love that Stassi chick from Vanderpump Rules. She does a podcast, and she talks about how when she first moved to Hollywood, she went to the same center, and they took the same test. And for 2 weeks, she was trying out Scientology to see what it was all about. And then she was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing it. And she walked away from it. But it's just fascinating to me, like, what's that tipping point where you say, okay, this is crazy?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do they ask you for?
Right.
What do they want?
It is fascinating. And yeah, how they get you on the hook. All those groups, organizations, different religions, all that stuff is very fascinating.
Of any religion. I mean, we're just talking about when people make fun of Scientology, but bottom line, it's a religion somebody started up at one point, just like other religions had started up at one point. So you're making fun of stuff, but you're not doing it across the board.
Right.
Scientology, it gets the brunt of it because it's almost like you're not going to get any clapback for that. If you make a Scientology joke on the air, most people are not going to write an email and say, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, because it's
kind of like making fun of Canadians. You never get any kind of clapback for that.
Great point.
And we love Canadians.
Canadians are too peaceful.
But you can make a Canadian joke, and you're not going to get any kind of fucking hate. No one's going to call the manager.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like how Scientology is. But when you really break it down with semantics here, it is a religion.
And I honestly wanted to hear their pitch, but it was taking too long. And I'm just like, all right, y'all got to optimize my experience because I'm not happy. I'm sitting here for 3 hours. You've turned me off. Bye.
Yeah.
That was the problem. I would have totally heard their pitch. I would have listened to it.
So Kevin's an extra diva. You're a Scientologist diva.
Yeah. I was not going to sit there for 3 hours. I had already been there for an hour.
I hear you.
And there was 3 people ahead of me.
Yeah, I think most people today I think everyone's patience is, I know mine, and I think part of it, a big part of it's my wife, because she is the least patient person I know. And I think another part of it's the society we're in.
It is.
I think a lot of people are affected by it.
Look how everything's set up now. Everything is about on demand. Everything is quick. No waiting. It's tricking our brains into thinking every part of life needs to be that way, and it's not. I mean, you can't just put a seed in the ground and expect a tree to grow right away.
But if you're running a business, just know that if you don't run your business where people can get what they want on demand, and you tell somebody they got to sit there for 3 hours, they are not going to wait. They're not going to be a customer.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not great for business, but what happens is it starts to bleed in every aspect of our life, our personal life, our romantic life, everything, your kids, everything. And it's good for business. I don't know if it's good for everything else.
Yeah, I always look at it at the analogy of, the fox and the rabbit. And I think anybody is that way. And, with whatever we try to do too, the enjoyment somebody gets out of something has got to be greater than the effort they put into it. And the fox will stop chasing the rabbit at a point where he's like going, look, I'm burning more calories than what I'm going to get out of eating this damn thing.
Gotcha.
And then that's when they punt and they go away. It's the same thing with that. And you look at anything you'll do, like some people will stand in line for like the Black Friday stuff for 18 hours. But for them, saving $300 is worth 18 hours.
Yeah, it's all your own perspective and what's important to you.
So is life. So is life. We were talking earlier about the white elephant gifts. If you are in a situation where your friends are having one, your office is having one, you're looking for a gift around $20-25, because you want to give one because it's a great gift, it's cool, it's funny, whatever. So we gave you 10 gifts you can see at kvjshow.com. But we're talking about that because as I put that on the Facebook, somebody had some comment going, white elephant, you better watch out, Kev.
It's so funny.
PC environment.
I just watched
Is it racist to say that?
I have no idea.
Well, that's why I was like, because that's what happens on other situations. That's happened to me before in the past, where I've made reference to something or I said something because I've heard it a ton before and I didn't think anything of it. And so I just say it because I think that that's how we all speak. And then somebody's like going, do you know what that means in the origin? I'm like, no. And then I'm like,
I don't know what white elephant means. I don't know the origin. I don't know if it's racist.
Well, somebody wound up bringing in here the definition. The term white elephant comes from the short story by Ernest Hemingway, Hills Like White Elephants. It's a rare or unexpected gift, being good or bad.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Not racist.
Yeah, and the person who put it, Mark, had said, be careful calling it a white elephant party. Millennials, triggers, white privilege, overweight people, endangered elephants. Tread lightly, Kev. I'm like, oh, wait, what did I do?
He's joking, maybe.
I think so.
Okay, sometimes jokes get lost in translation when you're writing them out.
But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. You never know, because I had heard that one time there was a clap back on saying Secret Santa, and somebody's like going, some of us are Jewish. I was like, all right. So, You know, it's like, all right, here we go. It goes a little crazy.
It goes very crazy.
And a big part of where I am is I'll give you a clap back. Being, look, I didn't know. Or sometimes I even will be like, really? Is that something we're going to sit here and split hairs about?
First of all, you know what kind of person you are in your heart. You know if you're a sexist or if you're a racist, and you know you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need people on Twitter to say, I mean, it's so easy to sit on your ass and say you're this or that when you don't have all of the fucking facts.
And two, I mean, we have to care less about what people are saying, I think.
Well, I don't like the knee-jerk reactions that are going on. All it takes is one person clapping at somebody and they just, in the wind, they immediately reverse course because they're so scared of the onslaught of people that will pile on them and how quickly it can happen with social media.
That's the problem. Don't be scared of the onslaught anymore.
Yeah,
Twitter's not real.
I do want to see more people standing up to this ridiculous PC movement that is out there, and some of it is worthwhile, but a lot of it is crap. There's this story last week. The principal at a Fairfax, Virginia high school introduced his new program to encourage students to learn the Pledge of Allegiance in different languages. What could be wrong with that, right?
I love that.
They started with Spanish. A week later, the program was scrapped over complaints from the community, and the principal has apologized to students for the, quote, offensive idea. Why is that offensive?
Why can't we all say the Pledge of Allegiance in whatever language we grew up speaking?
Right. What is wrong with this? People are just like, no. You know what? Honestly, if somebody came to me going, suck it. We are a place of education. We try to open eyes to new cultures and new things and different contexts. This is about education. Learning another language is considered education.
So people get mad when I say this, but I really believe it. So a lot of times what will happen, in my opinion, some people get mad on Twitter, and then media outlets
Yes.
that love to divide and call everyone racist or a sexist and keep that
They fuel it.
Keep that horrible thing going. They know what they're doing. They make a small little thing and they blow it up. And we're in the media, so we kind of see how it works. I swear to you, the media is so. They're so big time responsible on a lot of some of this shit.
And I'll tell you why. It comes down to a simple formula, is that media has been stretched so thin, it's hard to make a lot of money. It's all about getting those sensationalized clicks in eyeballs, and they know what does it. And even though they don't believe in it, they will report it. They will even say it. And what is happening is narratives then come out of this because they realize if they put somebody up on that cross, and if they completely crucify somebody, people are going to be around chanting, and it's going to get eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why people have the power in Twitter with bringing people down is because media outlets have made that a thing now. Twitter says this, and they're clapping back.
Well, and we like to simplify things. We like to demonize people. It's black or it's white. Pretty much everybody in life is gray.
Everybody's
we have
gray.
black and white.
Everyone is so layered.
But you know what? People, it confuses them and they won't get the clicks. When you make it clear cut and you say, without a doubt, this is the worst person in the world, you can get that. And then you'll click it and you'll read why they're the worst person. Be like going, you're right, they are. And then the media wins and they're able to make a little bit of money.
Well, the media wants to make it seem like everybody is against everybody right now. And that is just not true. Yes, there is some bad shit out there. Absolutely. But there are some people that really have no problem with anybody and they want to live a peaceful life and they want equal opportunity for everybody and they have each other's backs. But we don't report on that.
It's a methodology that keeps it afloat. And they don't report on that because that doesn't sell and it's boring and people don't click on it.
I don't think it is boring, actually. I think that's fucking sexy. I like that.
I do too. And how you change it is you actually start reading those stories. There has been a little bit of a swing to positive news because people were so just like, I don't want to click on the negative. I don't want to see any more fighting. And that's why you're seeing a little bit of a change in the social media platforms, realizing that, okay, wait, this stuff that was getting people to our platform is now driving them away because they've had too much of it. So you've seen a swing in the opposite direction. And hopefully it corrects itself.
For every fight in Walmart, now I see like 2 cat videos where cats are like hugging squirrels and some shit.
Yeah.
Man, I love those animal videos.
Kind of want it.
You know the animal ones I love. The animals that are not supposed to be, like the alligator and the
I
cat.
know. That's why I said a cat hugging a squirrel.
They're fucking, yeah.
That was for you.
I love it. Thank you. See? Positivity.
Mm-hmm. There was a story that was big news today that, as I read, I'm trying to get all the information on it, but yeah, it is troubling. Our justice system that we have in America, it looks like, again, it is tipped its cap to somebody with a little bit of money. Did you follow all the story of this dude in Delray Beach that plunked down a whole bunch of drinks, got behind the wheel of his Lamborghini, and then killed an 82-year-old Uber driver in 2016?
No, I don't know the details on this one.
They keep showing the photo of the Lamborghini. It was a beautiful yellow Lamborghini that's just thrashed. And it was on like one of those small backstreet kind of things from what I can understand in Delray Beach. And if you know Delray, you know, small streets, not built for speed. Basically what it is, this guy, Roger Wittenburns, he's 62. He made his fortune in the health club business. And what happened was one day he was in Delray with his now wife. On September 21st, 2016, he had a dozen-drink lunch with his wife, Peggy, at City Oyster. Their tab listed 3 Long Island iced teas.
Whoa.
3 Cosmo, 3 Goose 4 ounces. At the bar, the couple paid for another Long Island iced tea and a vodka martini and a Goose 4 ounce. They drank between 2:30 and 4:20, those drinks.
That's a lot of booze for 2 people.
2 hours, not even 2 hours. They plunked down, what, did I say 12 drinks? Dozen drink lunch.
How could they stand?
Did you see Long Island iced tea in there too?
Yes, and that is one of the most wicked you could have.
It is. That's one of the most wicked drinks out there.
Yeah, so wow. So if they did 2 of them, did 12 drinks in less than 2 hours.
I mean, two Long Island iced teas alone would knock you on your ass.
Yeah.
Most people, right?
Yeah, it's about 3 drinks they did per hour while sitting there. The crash happened at 4:36. And this is just where I'm confused because police are saying that the bright yellow Lambo hit speeds at least 75 miles per hour.
On a residential street?
Yeah, on that smaller street before it hit the 82-year-old that died.
Jeez.
And this is what I don't get because a nurse took a blood draw less than an hour after the crash. It showed a 0.15 blood alcohol level from him, nearly twice the legal limit. Then a blood sample obtained through a court warrant more than 9 hours after the crash showed no presence of alcohol. So that's where it was kind of sketchy, and that's why I think the verdict came down. This guy, for that, gets no jail time. Will not spend a day in jail.
Really?
Yeah, and his widow is, basically saying there was no justice today. This man killed my husband. He was drunk, and because he's rich, he's getting away with it. That's her take. He's getting house arrest, and he's got a $2 million estate. So he gets 2 years of house arrest, and he's got 10 years of probation.
Can I have house arrest in his house?
And then he had to pay the victim's family $20,000.
That's it?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
So, yeah, they said that he could have done 15 years in prison. Instead, he's got 2 years of house arrest.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you're just like, who knows how it was argued out and whatever. But I mean,
I believe the first blood draw, not the second one 9 hours later.
Yeah, that just is the thing that is a major flaw in our justice system is that you don't get equal justice. If you have more money, you get better justice.
It's true.
Because you get better attorneys, and they
know more, they do more, they have more ways and resources and sneakiness.
Yeah. Then that's the way it goes. It would be nice to be like, look, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to get the same kind of same quality representation.
That ain't true.
And it's not true, and that's why it's not fair. So it feels like that was one that they didn't get right.
Why is a guy with that much money driving around? I mean, I know you have this Lambo, but you have all the money in the world. You needed to be calling an Uber. Ironically, the kind of guy that you hit.
Should have been calling the guy you killed.
Yeah. What are you doing? I mean, it's not even a budgetary thing. I know some people are like, well, I can't afford Uber because Uber's too expensive.
No, this guy's driving a Lambo. You could have afforded it.
You could have afforded Uber. What are you doing?
Well, when I saw that story, I thought it was a news story because I saw it earlier this morning. And I'm thinking, yellow car, Lambo, is that the same car that Kevin was talking about at the one restaurant? And I was trying to remember that car. Remember the douche that we kept on parking in the handicap spot?
Oh, yeah. Johnny Ferrari, yeah.
It's a Ferrari.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Johnny Ferrari.
I know diddly dick about cars.
Yeah. So that was it. And just, as I was reading the story, his wife was at home. She had dinner on the table. Oh. And she's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And you're just like, oh, man, that's just,
That's
just
terrible.
Everything about it sounds wrong. It sounds like, gosh, you just hate to see something like that. So
the biggest lesson from this is just call a Lyft or an Uber. If you're gonna be drinking, just what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, just it sounds like, but he grew up in an era where there was more drinking and driving going on.
It's true.
Has the money, feels untouchable, and he's like, I guess proved it in a sense. You can kill somebody and then you don't do any jail time. You just go chill at home. A little update too on the hang glider Denise had sent in. The hang glider guy. I saw the video and I said, yeah, he was okay, meaning that he, did not die. But he wound up breaking his wrist when they landed and tore a bicep because he was holding onto the instructor's leg so tightly. He's like, I ain't dropping.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's okay as in having his life, but yeah, there were some injuries that he had because of it. And I don't blame him. I mean, my gosh, you don't care if you feel your bicep tearing. You're like,
nope, not letting go.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he had the strength to hold on for that long. I wonder how long it took from the top of the mountain to the bottom.
You see the video, it looked, I don't know if there were edits. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like it, and I just watched it through quickly. I would say it was less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
2.5, maybe 3 minutes, something like that.
When you get to like a minute 30, you're like, holy crap.
Well, because the guy that was flying the hang glider is like, oh crap, I got to get this thing to the ground as fast as I can because this guy's holding on for dear life. But the time you're off the mountain and you're like, "Woo." Guy like me that already can't stand heights, I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, fuck
I love
that.
the concept of hang gliding, but yeah, so much can go wrong.
That one's the one. They got one that's even like the next level. I forget what it's called, but it looks like they're wings on your arm. You run off a cliff and then you fucking fly.
Base jumpers?
Is that what it is? I showed you a video of it.
Where you have like a flying squirrel suit?
Yeah, oh my God. You really are flying though.
F that.
F that.
Somebody, this is actually pretty smart. Leah Remini, who had been in Scientology, somebody texted in and said, she says the difference between a religion and a cult is what happens when you try to leave.
Ah, okay.
That's an interesting differentiation because, a cult's like, no.
And she's done a great job, doing that whole expose thing and telling the story of Scientology and her experience. It's fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are people with stories about it as well.
Yeah, people keep on telling me I need to educate myself on Scientology. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what's going on about all that. I know all the stories. I was trying to make a point about I don't think people got it.
Somebody else texted in and said, my neighbor recently left his wife and kids because some kooky preacher told him that if he was previously married, which he was, that you're committing adultery and you must go back to your first wife.
Really?
Wow.
Maybe he wanted to leave his new wife anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But it really is kind of crazy. In fact, I had, or have, I don't know, a cousin. I remember when I was probably about 13, 14, somewhere around there. My cousin and I had a cousin same age. We went to the family reunion. That's when you're kind of like kid, you want to be rebellious and all that stuff. And we hung out with this older cousin. And he was in charge of like the drug rehabilitation, something or other in Colorado. He had a state job where he was the head of the entire state.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big. And he was cool as hell. Like, we just hung out with him. He was just funny, and he was, like, dirty. And he was like, yeah, this guy's great, man. This guy's awesome. I just remember having a great time with this cousin. Because the rest of my family, they're very strict, religious, square, So this guy was, like, cutting it up. I'm like, this guy's great. And then a couple years later, I'm like, hey, whatever happened to him? My mom's like, yeah, he, like, left his family and joined a cult.
What?
And so, I was like, but he seemed like the most level-headed. I mean, this is a guy that, because typically you might say, you got my attention. Oh, okay.
Fire alarm test.
Oh, okay. Glad they do that in all the studios.
Yeah, resets didn't scare the fuck out of me. Oh my gosh.
Jason just shit himself.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Thank you.
It's going down. Yep. People are breaking into the studio. Die Hard style.
Yeah. So, but I think a lot of people, our first judgment is when you see somebody that's in a cult, be like, oh, they're weak-minded, or they're this, or they're that, and you'd probably be surprised some of the people getting snagged up in some of those deals are people that are going, actually, that person went to Yale or Harvard, or you would think that they would be like the most level-headed, smart, strong, independent person ever. So, yeah, because I was like, that really kind of changed my perspective on it, because I think up until that point, I thought, oh, if you're in a cult, you're somebody that's easily manipulated, you're lost in life, and
looking for answers.
Right.
And just, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what am I going to do? So there you go. Fascinating stuff. All right. Thanks for contributing. I tell you, honestly, the people with this After the Show podcast, you do a great job.
We talk about the YouTube chat a lot, but we also got the other one, too, that we never give them any love on the air. What's the live stream?
Yeah, and I have both open, and
me
I
too.
check both back and forth. So
Live stream, we love you, too.
Live stream.
There's a growing movement. They never fucking talk about us. They always talk about the YouTube channel.
Aw, live stream.
Love
We
you, live
love
stream.
you.
Yeah.
Getting
Got
some
y'all.
love.
Give them some love, Jay Bird.
Live stream, yeah, we fucking love you.
there you go. All righty, there you go. All right, anything you want to add to us? Appreciate those emails. You can, mail@kvjshow.com to get through to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. We're out today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.